Welcome to Escape This Podcast, a show that's a mix between escape room puzzles and tabletop role-playing. It's the kind of escape room you build when you just can't afford an engineer. As always, our puzzle master Dani will lead our contestants to a room that she's just created out of her own brain. It doesn't exist anywhere except on the device in front of her, the paper in front of our contestants, and if you've downloaded it, it's on your computer. Okay, it's actually everywhere, but it's not in a physical place. This week, we have two contestants, and we have more Sunderlands than you can shake a stick at. We have my two brothers, Pat.
Hello.
And Nick.
How you going?
As always, if you want to download the room yourself and have a go beforehand, I hope you did very, very well. If you did, you can send us a tweet, get on Facebook. It's all in the description. So I will disappear away, and I'll come back if there's anything funny to say, or if I have any hints to give. Sorry. I'll pass over to Dani, and Dani can start us up with some basic rules and an introduction.
So the main rule with escape rooms is don't just wantonly break anything. Look, for this room, there's a little bit of light, organised breakage. So you two are but simple farmers. Folk of honest work, modest money. You tend cows and grow crops, sell milk, fruit, vegetables in town to make your living. One day, on your way back home from the market, you're taking the usual shortcut through the deep, dark forest.
Ooh, nice.
When the air starts to get misty, pretty soon a fog has settled in, obscuring everything, and you can no longer see the path beneath your feet. Muscle memory only gets you so far, and after a few minutes it becomes clear that you're wandering aimlessly. By the time the fog lifts, you're in a part of the forest you've never seen before. Hurrying along, you spot something, a structure poking through the trees, man-made. You rush towards it, and to your shock, you find yourselves at the base of a tower.
Ooh.
It stretches up into the sky. From your position, you see no door, but way up high, there is a single window.
Oh, it's Rapunzel. We found Rapunzel. All right, keep going.
From up there, you hear a very faint voice. Suddenly, a tale comes back to you, a story passed around by townspeople. It's about a princess locked away in a tower by a man-eating witch,
Ooh,
waiting for someone to help her escape before she is killed. You hesitate. You have to get home, but how can you ignore this? A princess, possibly. One who needs you. At the base of the tower, conveniently left, is a grappling hook and rope. You pick them up and you throw them, and you haul yourselves up towards the window. As you ascend, you realize that this is more hazardous than it first appeared. All around the window are enormous thorns. Getting inside is kind of gonna hurt. And worse, the higher you get, the more you see the thorns are rubbing against your rope and fraying it.
Oh.
Just as your fingers touch the windowsill, the rope snaps. The grappling hook, without your weight holding it, tumbles away all the way down to the ground. You will not be able to get back out that way. Worse still, there's no princess in here.
I'm very, very happy with the scenario that's established our heroicism.
Oh, yeah.
We've jumped right up in there. This is good.
Yeah.
Daddy knows us well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you're now in a circular room. It has a large tapestry lying on the floor like a rug, a big rectangular one. So you've climbed in this window, and to the right of the window, there is a bed.
Got it?
There is also a rocking chair to your left. Beside this chair is a small table with a brush and mirror sitting on it. On the wall, not too far from the bed, there is a sconce holding an unlit torch.
What is a sconce?
Yeah, a wall torch holder. Old school.
Unlit.
Unlit.
Capable of being lit?
If you have the means of it, sure.
Ooh. Hi.
And also, not far from that, in the wall, near the floor, there is a little mouse hole. You know, very fairy tale-ish, the sort that a child might draw. Perfect semicircle. The rest of the room, also pretty childlike. You see a dollhouse sitting across from you. There is a cuckoo clock sitting on a stand, and a chest with a couple of toys strewn about on the floor.
I thought this wasn't the kind of princess we wanted to rescue anyway.
Yeah, this is starting to take a kind of gross turn.
Yeah.
Not much more to go.
Halfway there.
Not far from the rocking chair, there's a simple bird perch with two little birds on it. But as soon as you jump through the window, they freak out and start just tweeting, and they take flight. They zoom past your heads, straight out the window. And with a sinking feeling, you worry that what you thought was a princess calling out may have been some birds.
Not the first time.
Yeah.
And lastly, in a spare piece of floor that you can find, there is a trapdoor. Of course, there's a non-zero chance that downstairs there's a gruesome, horrible witch, so getting down there might not be entirely safe. But if you search this room, maybe you'll find something that could help you get out safely. I mean,
Like a gun.
This princess must have escaped somehow, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Or she turned into a bird.
Left that way.
I bet she was the bird.
She's turned
There were
into
two
a trapdoor.
She turned. Well, you can't turn one entire person into one bird. You have to split it, share it among two birds.
It's a left brain, right brain thing.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so that's everything.
That's everything. You are welcome to start observing.
All right.
Just a room full of children's toys.
Yeah. That's okay. Why don't we start by looking at the bed? Let's go over and look at the bed.
Good choice.
Yeah.
It's a very small, simple bed, perfectly made. Doesn't look like anybody has slept in it for a while. But the pillow raised up a little bit. There is something underneath it. It is a thick songbook by the looks of it.
Hold on, I didn't say I looked under the pillow yet.
You can see from that far. You didn't have to lift the pillow. You just know.
Why? What's the songbook?
Look, it's got the title, The Farmers in the Tower.
That's creepy.
And on the front cover is a tower that looks remarkably like the tower that you are in. The decoration is beautiful. It's very ornate. And the decoration on the back is also very pretty.
Oh, yeah?
It's a picture of two children in a cozy house. Looks like they're playing hide and seek or on a scavenger hunt or something. They're both looking inside a fireplace up to the chimney. Now, the songs inside the book, there are a million of them. A lot of them look very nursery rhymey. So you can't possibly read all of them. You could have a look through, but you're going to have to tell me what subject matter you're looking for if you do.
All right. So those two kids, definitely birds. There's no question. They've been turned into birds by the witches. And you're like, oh, what a surprise this will be.
So
but I
a
figured it out
man-eating
already.
witch turns the men that they could eat into birds that they do not eat.
Birds have got to taste better than people.
That's probably recommended by a dietitian.
Yeah.
Remove the
Yeah.
temptation.
Have you met witch dietitians?
No.
Maybe we will
Opportunity.
by the end of this adventure.
Is there a table of contents in the songbook that we can...
Sadly, no. You have to just flip
Right.
through looking for keywords in titles.
I guess something else will give us a clue as to what type of song we should look for.
Yeah.
Maybe. Or you could just...
I look for any bird-related songs. I'm really stuck on this bit. I'm sure it's going to lead to something.
See, I was thinking trapdoor nursery rhymes. That's the easiest way out.
You're not on the wrong sort of vein with these things, but sadly you don't find ones about that. However, if you do indeed search for the word trapdoor,
Oh.
you don't find the word trapdoor, but you do find trap.
Ooh. All right. What's that ditty called?
So you find this, which you can read out. It is from a nursery rhyme called The Trap of the Tower.
Pat, you don't mind if I read this?
It was your idea. Go ahead.
Inside is housed a prisoner, a captive scared and sore. The two escapes a window high, and lo a lone locked door. Though height holds not a way to run, it aids one in their breach. A help is written over the thorns, if only one can reach.
Well, that seems... I think that's completely irrelevant to our situation, so you can
You
throw
throw
that
it out the window.
Yeah. All right, so there's help on the thorns, and we need somewhere to reach it. All right.
Yeah, what do you think? Inside is housed a prisoner. Is that us inside this tower?
I guess it could be the princess.
Maybe she's still around.
Yeah. There's hope salvaging this adventure yet.
Interesting.
The two escapes a window high. Do you think that's the two birds flying out?
Yeah, look, I'm definitely the bird's essential to this mistake, or maybe the two kids or something like that.
Yeah. And lower lone locked door. That could be our trapdoor.
Yes. Oh, yes.
So height holds not a way to run.
Yeah, so we
Can't
don't
run out the
escape out
window?
the window.
No, I wasn't going to run out there anyway.
Yeah, I didn't need to be told that by a nursery rhyme.
But it helps us in our breach.
Yeah, so the fact that there's something that's going to help us that's
Written
outside
over
the window.
thorns.
Something
We just need to
tangled
reach
over
it.
thorns. Yeah, so...
So what kind of toys are around the chest then?
They're cute. They're a little old. This princess probably outgrew them. You suspect that she's a bit older than that age now. One is a ragged teddy bear and the other is a ragged unicorn.
All right, so we got a teddy bear and a unicorn.
Yes.
Both worn. So
Yeah,
good
kind
guess.
of. Yeah. They're old toys.
Do they have any, I suppose this isn't really appropriate to the setting. They don't have a tag or
They
anything.
don't know. Made in Albion.
Yeah. Oh.
Are they small?
Yeah,
Maybe
they're,
small in your
you know,
hand sort of
small hand. They fit in your hand, but
Yeah, okay. This unicorn horn's not going to be the thing that reaches above the
No,
thorn.
sadly, it's not a very stabby unicorn horn. They're fluffy toys.
I look inside. Can I open the toy chest?
You cannot. It has a
Oh.
padlock on it, unfortunately.
All right. So there's something that we need to unlock. So if we find a key, that is something we need to look for. Is there anything notable about the actual box apart from the padlock?
Surprisingly little. I mean, you assume it's a toy chest, but there are no identifying features on the outside. It's just that standard light brown woody colour.
The color of wood. Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that though, thinking about designs. If we go back to the songbook under the pillow, those ornate designs we saw in the book, do they match anything else in the room that we can see yet?
I mean, so you've got in the back, there's kids in a house on the back cover. That doesn't match the tower.
Nope.
The bed and stuff is not the bed that's on there or whatever. But the front cover that was a picture of a tower, it's the exterior of the tower. And it looks pretty damn close.
All right, sure. Well, going on my... I think we can leave the toy chest for now. There's nothing else. Going off my bird-based puzzle-solving strategy, I walk over... You said there was a cuckoo clock on
There is a
stand?
cuckoo clock.
All right. I go over and give it a little look.
Sure, it's beautiful. This one's a real classic. So it's got a glass face that opens up. You can open that so you could reach the hands. It's a Roman numeral design.
All right.
Right on cue, as you go up to it, it starts cuckooing at you. And a cute
okay.
little bird pops out the front.
Okay.
Wow. What time does it say?
It says that it's 11.
As a farmer, I curse the cuckoo clock as a witch and resolve to burn it once we escape.
Understood.
Great. What does the bird look like? Just a little wooden clockwork?
Yeah,
bird?
pretty much.
All right. I reckon there'll be some puzzle as to changing the hands to a certain time, probably.
I think so.
But the fact that it's 11 at the moment, that's probably worth remembering for the listeners at home. And so I can't open it up, look at the gears without breaking. It doesn't.
Yeah, not
open.
so much, no.
All right. Well, nothing to that.
No, I'm curious about. I want to go and check out the little stand that the birds flew off from.
Yes.
In my head, I'm thinking, where can we find something to reach over the thorns? What's tall and
Yeah,
the stand
sure.
the birds are on was.
Birds are tall.
Fair point.
Well,
Look,
birds
it's-
like to get high.
So it's kind of got a wooden plank that it sits on and a branch that is stuck. It's almost a vertical branch that then curves around to become horizontal for it to sit on. Really quite boring. There's nothing identifiable of interest on it. A couple little scratches maybe where the birds have been sitting, but they don't look like a hidden code.
So the bird scratches saying 721-555, the code.
All right.
That said, while you're looking at the bird perch, the cuckoo clock cuckoos again.
Again?
Yeah.
Does it still say 11 o'clock?
Actually, no. It now says 5.
No.
All right. So 11 and then 5.
Do you think the clock's broken or time itself?
Yeah. Well, we're in a witch's tower. There's no.
You never know.
These puzzles will be impossible to solve because all rules of logic are.
I suppose we didn't really dimension out the tower space. Maybe it's a 6-hour trek from the clock.
Yeah, actually. Now that bird stand, is that affixed to the ground or could I pick it up?
It's a little bit heavy. You could pick it up, but... Okay, the base is heavy. The actual branch, flimsy as shit. You
Okay.
won't get much out of it.
I wonder if the branch could do with some light breaking.
Yeah, some
You
organised.
will get some
way to-
leading when there is organised
Okay,
breaking
sure,
involved.
sure,
You don't
yeah.
have to just assume that something has to be
Well,
broken.
the thing that occurs to me is that the fact that it's vertical and then it changes to horizontal. If there's something hanging on the thorns underneath the window, you can scoop it up with the bird perch.
True,
So
though.
that's
If you were to double check that poem,
says
it
over the
says
thorns.
over the thorns.
Oh, okay.
It is. I mean, I should have pointed out it's a little old Englishy with O.
Yeah, I
ER.
I thought that was just like a noise, like ooh.
The thorns.
So yeah, that's helpful. All right, well, so that's the bird perch. So it's just a little few scratches just from normal bird
Yes.
wear and tear. It's
Quite unremarkable.
flimsy branch, but a heavy base.
Yeah.
All right.
So you could move it, but probably not worth it.
Yeah. I want to save my strength for any witches that pop out of the trapdoor.
What do you want to do? Do you want to go check out the rest of the stuff in here, Pat?
Yeah, I think
a
we
good
keep
idea.
ticking things off our circle list.
I mean, I don't want to seem particularly narcissistic, but the mirror next?
Yeah, the mirror. I've got it next to the bird perch according to my diagram. So.
Well, it's a clean silver hand mirror, and it has a rather long handle.
That's interesting. I can't imagine what that means. What about the rest of the table that it's sitting on?
So it was also sitting with a brush, which is worn and quite bulky, as if whoever used it must have had very long, thick hair.
Oh, so it's like a hairbrush.
Oh, yes.
See,
What brush would you have imagined?
I thought it was like a shaving cream, one of those little brushes.
I
think just because that's what I associate with a mirror. I don't use mirrors to shave.
That's an interesting one too.
I didn't think that. And the table, ordinary dark wood, a little bit hefty. Not the sort of thing that you'd be lifting up and swinging around, but...
that is my first instinct when I think table.
And what do you see when you look in the mirror? Is it just a true reflection?
You see your beautiful reflection.
Thank you.
Even when, like, if I look in it, do I see Nick's beautiful reflection? Because we've got a magic mirror.
And it's screaming, let me out, let me out!
Alright, does the table have drawers?
No.
Alright, it's got nothing that I can open or otherwise.
No.
It's just a thing to put stuff on.
Yep.
Alright. They didn't have drawers back in these days, so.
Well.
So we've got a brush that's just worn, well used, and a handheld mirror with a long handle, which otherwise does not seem magic.
Correct.
Alright. Well, I guess we just keep moving around to the...
Can we just pick up and take the mirror with us?
Oh, absolutely. You add it to your inventory.
It's in my inventory. I want to put it in the mouse hole.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Let's do that now.
Yeah.
Stick it under look through.
So as a mouse,
it's got such a long handle.
Yeah, it's a little semicircle mouse hole in the
nice
corner.
semicircle. Look, you might be able to wedge the mirror in a little bit, but it doesn't go very far. It's thin walls inside there, so it sort of gets a little bit
That was
stuck.
such a good idea.
However, it's also very dark inside that mouse hole, so
Well,
you know
what,
the mirror might not help very much.
You know what I do? I hold it out the window, see if I can spy anything above the window where the thorns are. The thorns.
Well, for a while, all you can see is thorns, thorns, more thorns. These things are enormous.
Yeah.
But eventually, you angle the mirror just right, and you can see some letters etched into the stone way up high.
There we go.
They say, "Call the birds, and they will finish what you cannot."
Ooh. And they will finish. God.
Speaking of birds, the cuckoo clock goes off again.
What time is it now? I make the 6-hour trek there.
This time, it is 10.
10. So we've got 11, 5, then 10. Hopefully after this it starts repeating, because otherwise too many numbers for my taste. But that's gone forward. It's gone forward 6 hours, then forward 5 hours. Maybe next it'll be 2, and it'll have gone forward 4 hours.
Yeah, I like your approach of jumping on the numbers. We haven't found anything that needs a code yet, have
No, but I don't know, maybe we will. Some kind of old-fashioned padlock, number lock. So... I'm just imagining me holding an absurdly long hand mirror out the window and trying to angle. Alright, so we got the letters, call the birds and they will finish what you cannot.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it's too literal, but maybe we'll find the names of the birds and then we shout their names, which will be the names of the two kids on the book.
Yeah.
Hansel and Gretel. I yell out Hansel and Gretel.
Nothing happens.
That
would
would have
take
been
us a lot of time.
Yeah. Well, I guess next up on the old fantasy list is the rocking chair. The home of witches and fairy godmothers alike. I go over and look at the rocking chair.
Alright, so this was quite back near the window. You approach the rocking chair, and at first glance it looks lovely and classic, like a relic made by somebody's woodworking great-grandfather. But when you look closer, you see it's actually quite modern, and you can see the modern screws and nails and everything.
Are any of them loose?
No, they're still in reasonably good condition. Looks like if you had the tools, you could mess with it a bit, but you do not.
All right.
They don't
I
have
see
the
where this
tools.
is going. So it's a nice modern rocking chair.
It's an IKEA chair.
Yeah, it's like an IKEA rocking chair.
Okay, so it's been put together with an Allen key. So if we find an Allen key, we know what to do with it.
If it's IKEA, they take it apart and let it get back together again, so let's be sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so look around the room, Pat. What do we got? We've checked out a bed. We've checked out the toy chest in the corner. There was a rocking chair with the brush and the mirror next to it. We've had a look at the stand that the birds were on.
Yep.
And we've gone and had a look at the cuckoo clock. I think there's still a rug in the middle of the floor, a trapdoor. There's still a few other things. So maybe we can go check out the rug?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Alright, this is a quite elaborate rug with some pretty decorations on it, and you are about to see an image that I would like you to describe for our listeners.
Alrighty.
Now, for those listening at home, there is a link to this image, but why don't you listen to the description first and see if it makes any sense? And then you can see how dumb our contestants
Alrighty.
So I think, first off, I want to say there's lots of images on here, and
Yes.
it's unfair to set it up as such a simple task.
Bear with us here. So the first thing is we've got the border of this tapestry is symbols from playing cards. Specifically, the heart symbol, the spade symbol, and the diamond symbol repeating over and over. In the middle of the tapestry, we've got like a clip art flame.
Hey, shut up.
That's a hand-drawn Dani original.
We've got a large flame.
Yep.
Then above and below the flame, we've got what can only be described as shapes. They look like bits of letters. And
They do. Look at the top and bottom half of a letter.
Yeah, some kind of cipher or something, like these symbols that kind of look like letters with pieces missing.
Yeah.
So yeah, look at that. If you're listening, look at the link because you really weren't. You're missing a lot of the experience here.
Yeah, but it's a big square canvas with a white background and a flame in the middle.
You can just keep that.
And we think that, I think looking at it, it looks like if you folded it in half, the top and the bottom letters would line up to read a
You've got it immediately.
Sentence.
I think you've literally already solved it because look, just looking at that, the first letter's in H, the second's in E, the third's in A. So hold on.
Yeah.
Let me write this down.
I mean, can we fold the rug in half and have a look at what the matched up letters look like?
If you feel you need to, or you can use your imagination to do so.
A-T...
Okay, well, Patrick's diligently writing it out, so...
You're trying to find ways around this puzzle. He's
I was
halfway
hoping
through
that
it.
someone might just tell us, but no, there's a little bit of effort required.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes you have to solve puzzles.
B...
So it's heat.
E...
Heat to toe... it's nonsense.
Well, no, I've got heat, assuming I haven't written it incorrect, and I'm getting a nod from our host.
Yep.
I got heat tat op bed. So HEATATOPBED.
You will find that is words.
Okay.
So, let me write it a little bit.
atop bed.
There we go. Heat atop bed. Well, we've got the sconce with the torch. Maybe if we hold a fire above the bed or something.
Is there a way... It is... the clock's not representing the accurate time.
Doesn't seem to be. Hey, speaking of, it cuckoos again.
All right, what have we got now?
What was the last one? 5?
10.
10.
Yeah,
okay, this one is a 4.
A 4.
It's now pointing at its little Roman numeral 4.
11, 5, 10, 4.
Patrick's writing a string of numbers.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just
Damn.
going by a pattern of 11, 5, 10, 4. Then it'll be 9, 3, 8, 2, 7, 1. I don't know if that will mean it. And then 6.
Yeah, what I like about what you've done is it's shown some initiative and drive.
Yeah.
What I find unhelpful is none of it means anything.
Well, you'll just
And I
wait.
don't know how far you have to go.
You just wait until a bird comes in and says, "My name is the pattern of the cuckoo clock."
Well, Patrick, what are the corresponding letters of the alphabet that would ascribe to those numbers?
Oh, that'll take me a while. I tell you,
Thankfully, we don't need to do that for this one.
I tell you what, if the next number that comes up on the cuckoo clock is a 9, you apologise for making fun of my number writing down.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
Because
but
I will have
if it's not a
discovered the
9,
pattern. Yeah?
give me these 2 minutes back.
Yeah, all right, that's fair. That's fair.
We'll have them stricken from the record.
So I think you're right. So heat.
Yes, heat atop bed.
Now, you've gone straight to the torch, which we saw earlier on the
Yes.
sconce.
Yes,
Which is a great word.
Yeah, which
We've
I
learned
was
tonight.
not. Yeah.
Kind of sounds like a slang word for a really bad British youth.
Well, yeah.
Like, he's just a bit of a sconce, isn't he?
I mean, it's essentially not.
This is a real word. I haven't made this up.
No,
I know.
That's awesome.
Sconce is definitely a word.
But I just want to say the rug is also a big picture of fire. So
you want to
let's
roll
just
it
keep
up
that in
and-
the back of our mind as well.
One thing I just want to quickly do.
Please.
I'm going to stand near the bed and look at the roof.
Cool. It goes quite high, not within your reach, but it looks like it's just all stones, much the same as the walls.
Well, let's give a proper look to this sconce.
Sure.
Um,
It has a tall torch sitting in it, unlit but in fairly good condition.
great. That's
The
good.
torch is removable if need be.
Sure. All right, so we have a torch. So what else haven't we looked at? We haven't looked at...
In the far corner, there's a dollhouse.
Yes.
That could be a treasure trove of
Yes,
items.
of creepy shit.
I just want to go back to our teddy bear and our unicorn, which we took out of the chest earlier as well. What are they made of?
What is the whatever century this is equivalent of cotton? And
Flax.
that
Why
sort of
not?
stuff.
Alright.
Yeah, they're
Not
soft.
Flint and Tinder.
They're soft toys. Ah.
These are my toys. A teddy, his name is Flint. And this unicorn, his name is Tinder.
Yeah. It's not that?
Yeah, no luck there.
Okay, so nothing there.
So let's go to the
Dollhouse.
dollhouse.
Sure. It resembles a nice, folksy house, all the usual rooms. There are 2 dolls that look like parents sitting in the dining room. There's a dog and a cat doll sitting in the kitchen. And there are 2 child dolls in the lounge room. One is stuffed behind the couch, and one of them is lying in front of the fireplace.
A couch.
Like a doll-sized couch.
When did we hear about the fireplace before? That was in
The fireplace, the kids were looking up the fireplace at the back of the songbook. So I stick my little finger up the doll fireplace and see what I find.
You feel something inside, and you pull out a rusty key.
I knew it was going to be a key. All right, there we go.
And what was locked? The chest.
Yeah, the toy chest.
Now, do you want to stay with the dollhouse before we run to the chest, or are you already across the room?
Excited about this key.
You found something in the doll's house. It's
I
probably
look up and
gone.
Patrick's already gone.
yeah. I've escaped.
The lock comes off the chest with this key, and you push the heavy lid open. Inside, there's an odd collection of things, not more toys. First, you see something that looks like a silken shawl or a scarf. No, it's a cloak. Definitely a cloak, but it's not finished. So it's only about half the size it would need to be, and one end is all stringy, like they just haven't finished sewing it together.
Yeah, it's a Patrick job. Got it.
Oh,
That stopped
God's
halfway through.
sake.
That's fair.
Lazy.
Well, underneath that, you see lots of strands of this silky material that was meant to go in this cloak, clearly, but whoever was doing it, the princess probably, just didn't finish. And finally, inside the chest, you see a page that appears to be ripped from the songbook. And it contains... You can call it a haiku. It's not a haiku, but it resembles one.
All right, it says, knock on the table, one dropping from somewhere high is her favourite tune. First off, I think the shawl is definitely the thing that was that will not finish that the birds can finish. You know, call the birds and they will finish what you cannot.
Disney princess birds.
Yeah, exactly.
making
Knitting clothes,
Wow.
absolutely. Like,
Cinderella.
Hey, shut up, copyright.
Oh.
knock on the table, one dropping from somewhere high is her favourite tune. Okay, yeah, I don't know what to make of that so far. I'm going to do my favourite go-to puzzle thing, which is get the first letter of every word. Cot, all right, that's not going anywhere. K-O-T-T, that's not
So
it.
I wonder, I mean, I feel like this suggests knocking on the table.
Yep.
Funny that.
Yeah.
In terms of
Don't
something
know.
dropping, maybe there's a certain sound that's made when something's dropped from a height onto it that's
Yeah,
different from just us.
Is her
I don't know
favourite
what we have that we could drop. We have a brush. We have a mirror. I'm reticent to drop the mirror in case it smashes.
Yeah. Brush, you can drop it a bunch of times.
You're
But
right.
this, I would less focus on the word dropping for now, though it's obviously relevant. Focus on the word tune. This is a tune.
Oh,
that
yeah,
you're
the
looking for.
songbook maybe will have something. Maybe there's another song in the songbook apart from the trapdoor. You know, Jimmy and the trapdoor.
Yeah, well, I think because we need to go to the songbook with some themes.
Well,
Oh, the cuckoo clock cuckoos again.
Uh-oh.
what's the number?
If it's 9, we're in trouble.
It is 10.
Alright. I owe you 2
So
minutes.
plus 2 minutes to Nick's
Yeah,
time,
yeah.
minus 2 to Pat's time.
Yeah, true. I like that.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh, well,
I think
yeah,
that puts
the
you
other
at
way
minus
around.
4 overall,
Yeah,
but
that needs to. Alright. So, it went 11, 5, 10, 4, 10. Maybe that'll have to do with...
I think the other thing we should quickly consider
Yeah.
is that it is a Roman numeral clock.
Oh, yes. Oh,
So
yes.
what it's actually done is
That's
it's
true.
gone
It's gone
XI,
XI, V,
V,
X,
X,
IV,
yeah,
IV,
X.
X. So it's spelling Xiv.
Xiv.
Xiv,
It is
Xiv.
repeating XIV, XIV. It's so the next number potentially will be a 4 again.
Yeah. It is worrying that this is my third episode of this. This is your first episode, and you're much better at it than me.
Yeah, but it's concerning is fair, but surprising.
Yeah, no, that's all right. So that could spell Vix or Ixiv. So maybe I am pretty good at this, actually. All right.
let's see what happens.
Okay, so
I think a couple of things we haven't done is the torch for me feels like we want to light it. somehow.
absolutely
The mouse hole sounds like we want to be able to look inside it because it is dark.
yes, or even stick our fingers in there, see what's there. That worked for the fire thing.
Can Patrick fit his finger in the mouse hole?
Yeah.
He absolutely can. He can fit his whole hand in that mouse hole.
Oh well, I do so without any.
You reach
thought.
inside, but you barely get your fist in before teeth clamp down on your thumb and you draw back in pain.
Sounds like I found one of the kids. All right.
Is there something on his thumb?
bite marks.
Just bite marks.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, maybe we can use them.
It does look like a mouse's bite marks, to be
I'm
clear.
a farmer. I know a mouse's bite marks. All right, so
There's a mouse in the mouse hole.
Yeah.
And it was not happy being disturbed. The cuckoo clock cuckoos one more time
Yep.
with a 1.
With a 1.
Ooh.
So, maybe you're also wrong.
No, because that's just the... maybe it potentially could be a 5 next. Or...
Well, because the last one was a 4, so that was XIV.
No, the last one was a 10.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We do go back
So
to 10.
XIV.
And so then it could be
repetition.
5 again, and then...
Could be lots of things. I think Danny's thought of ways to mark this, but
True.
potentially it will be XIV. To me, is relatively meaningless.
Which is, it's 14 in Roman numerals. Maybe that'll come up somewhere. I checked the 14th song in the songbook.
Oh, yeah, page 14.
It is Jack and Jill.
Don't sound like the names of birds to me.
Damn
I
it.
go outside and I yell Jack and Jill.
Nothing happens. First one that came to my head.
It is literally just like the song Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water.
Yeah.
Then they opened the
the
trap
one
door.
you
and
know.
escaped
But you
for a
did
window.
not-
That's not it.
But you did just come up with that on the spot.
Absolutely.
That is not right.
Do you want to flick through the songbook a bit with some of the things that we found in the room?
Are you just giving me a job, a bit some busy work to do while
No,
you
I'm just
solve
seeing
the
what you
puzzle?
think. No, I'm seeing what you think. Sit in the corner,
Yeah,
Patrick.
look over the songs.
Don't get bitten again by anything.
Sing to yourself, they're nice songs. Flick through the songbook
Yeah.
for like themes of things.
Well, yeah, I mean, we have a teddy bear. We haven't looked for teddy bears. A lot of nursery rhymes that could be teddy bear related.
Look, you have a flick through, you're not really finding anything. There's a collection of really wildly unfamiliar ones that you've never heard before. And some of the ones, like Jack and Jill that are more familiar from your childhood, you don't really see anything teddy bear-y. In fact, if you flick through looking for, I think, most of the objects in the room, you won't
Most
really
not all. I
find
searched
much.
sconce.
I'm just really trying to hedge my bets here in case there was something accidentally,
sure.
but I don't think any of the objects in the room specifically.
On the table.
Is there a way to use the mirror to light the torch?
Not at this time of
Yeah,
day.
and all the-
the light,
Maybe
no.
if it were earlier, but
Because how
it's
can
getting a bit late.
how can you generate fire?
I don't know how magic this tower is. There could be some kind of magic going on.
Magic would help.
Yeah.
That clue is now more or less in. You won't get anything more to help you with that one. So
Yes,
if
the
you wanna
haiku that you
consider it-
have on hand, that
Alright.
haiku is completely solvable at this point in
you
time
have.
without any new findings.
So one dropping from somewhere high is her favourite tune.
Jill?
Doesn't really
Not
drop though,
right,
does she?
but yeah.
was tumbling after.
true. Yeah. No, Jack and Jill.
Went up the hill
Yeah.
to fetch a pail
So-
of water. Jack fell down
Yes. Keep it
and
going.
broke his crown.
Yeah.
And Jill came tumbling after.
All right. I knock on the table, then do my best rendition of Jack and Jill. Top of my lungs.
Doesn't seem to help.
So loud.
And oh my god, what if the witch is?
All right.
That said, you're not on the wrong track.
Oh. So maybe it's another well-known nursery rhyme that's one dropping from somewhere high. Jack Sprat.
Humpty Dumpty?
There it is.
Is there...
I was going Jack Sprat jumped off something.
Jack Sprat could eat no fat. His
So-
wife fell from somewhere high.
Yeah, so he jumped off a roof. All right.
So does that mean we sing the Humpty Dumpty nursery rhyme?
I don't even know how that goes.
Or
I
do you
mean,
knock
singing.
it?
Yeah,
Do you
singing
knock it
isn't
on the
great.
table?
Keep going. Oh god.
I'll do the knocking, Patrick.
Fine. I'll go read the songbook.
Yeah, we haven't found your talent yet. But
Yeah,
it's going to come
one
out.
day. One day.
So, Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall.
I wonder how this is going to sound.
Doesn't sound great.
Humpty Dumpty had a big fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again.
You hear a clunk and look down to see a secret drawer has popped out of the bottom of the table.
Good stuff.
You pull it all the way open, expecting something amazing, and you find an empty matchbox.
Ooh. But does it have
The scratchy side?
the scratchy side?
It certainly does.
I am.
I like that we know words like sconce, but
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
you call the scratchy side of a matchbox is.
Also, I am so confused as to what time period we're in.
Damn straight. I have a note in my notes that says, do not suggest time period.
Fair enough.
So we have the equivalent of whatever you can
whatever Flint
create
or Tinder.
friction. Yeah,
which-
we
alright.
can create friction.
Just no matches.
No matches.
I like the tip of the unicorns. I rub the tip of the unicorn horn against the
It's
matchbox.
a fluffy toy. It does nothing whatsoever. You can't help but notice the cuckoo clock has not gone off in a while. In fact, it's still pointing at the one that it was before. It's not going anymore.
Okay, so maybe that was the end of its sequence.
XIV, XIV, XI.
But we're in a circular room, which is much like the face of a clock.
Can you describe the cuckoo clock to me again, just in general?
So we got a
thing?
cuckoo clock, which is a glass face, so you can open it and mess with the
Yep,
thing.
and where is it?
And I
I just have it in the room.
Yeah.
Where is the cookie?
Is it on the floor?
It's on a stand.
Oh, it's on a
Sitting on a
stand.
stand.
It's on a stand.
Oh, can we lift it off the stand?
You can. It's
anything
very
underneath it?
movable. Yes, you see a message written in the top of the stand that says, next 3 times.
Next 3 times.
Is there a second hand on the clock, or is it just hours and minutes?
Just the hours and minutes.
Should we try setting it to 10:20? Put the little hand on the X and the big hand on the IV?
Doesn't seem to do anything. The cuckoo does not cuckoo.
All right, so the next 3 times. Well, the next 3 times, the first 3 times the cuckoo went 11, 5, 10, but I doubt that's it.
Yeah, you've got a bunch of times, and you have something that says next 3 times.
So just to the total times that it's rung that we've heard so far was 11, 5, 10, 4, 10, and then what after that?
1.
1. Maybe it means the next 3 times that it rings 10. So I push it just to 10, straight 10 o'clock.
Doesn't do anything.
The next 3 times it hits a specific time. The next 3 times that it calls, meaning the first 3 times that it called when we arrived.
Looking at the numbers you've got, and reading, you've made a great decision in putting it into how they actually appeared on the clock as Roman numerals.
It was a good decision.
And reading them out,
XIV, XIV, XI.
Oh, we turned the thing to 5.
You turn the clock to 5, and it cuckoos once at you.
Uh-oh.
All right.
and what clue did you just read?
Sorry?
And what clue did you just find?
The clue that we just found was next 3 times. I put it to 11, and then I put it to 5.
When you put it to 11, it cuckoos again. And when you put it to 5, it cuckoos, and it does not stop cuckooing. And you notice there is something small between the cuckoo's legs. It's a small vial of reddish powder.
Ooh, sulfur.
You're pretty sure that you recognize it from some man of science who peddled this stuff around
Snake
town
oil
once.
salesman.
Yeah.
He called it phosphorus sesqua something. Whatever it was, it burst into flames when rubbed against certain surfaces.
Ah, so we've got our fire. We've got our matchbox. We've got our fire dust.
You have, the powder from the top of a matchstick, but you still have no matchstick.
But we have the matchbox.
Yes. All right.
2 out of 3
And we
things to
have
make match
We have
fire.
a unicorn horn.
Well, you know.
And you
It's
have-
fluffy!
And you have a cuckoo clock that is continuously cuckooing.
Yes,
From
it is.
this point on.
It's now just being obnoxious.
All right.
Do you feel like we should lightly break the cuckoo clock?
Yes, can controllably demolish the... Okay. So
think
we
so
just
either.
need the match bit of the matchstick. We get which could either be the bird stand or taking apart a piece of the chair.
I wonder if we could use the brush.
The brush?
What is it?
You
We need.
examine these things and the material just doesn't seem quite right.
So what we need is something that is thin
Yes.
and flammable.
Yes.
Can we potentially break a thorn off from the wall?
You try, but they're growing really close together and every millimeter of movement gets you stabbed a little bit. It's just too painful.
Now I'm bleeding as well.
Yeah, it's just...
I hope this witch isn't attracted to the scent of blood.
Well, as a cannibal.
You've done a lot. You've done a really great job. The only thing I would suggest next is that songbook will help you.
Can we tear a page out of the songbook? Or should we read for songs?
Yes.
I think we should read for
It's a better idea.
songs.
Cool. So anything sort of general but relevant that might help you get out of here, you reckon?
Anything cuckoo or bird? Oh,
yeah.
we've tried birds.
No, you've tried birds.
Nothing cuckoo.
I
Mouse.
searched...
Be quite general.
Where are you?
We're in a tower.
Tower.
Should we search tower?
Well, that just leads you back to the trapped in the tower one that you had before.
What about the woods? Is there anything about the woods?
Not really. Where are you going with this?
Anything about fire?
No, not fire. Told you they'd search for fire.
What about heat?
No, if it were
If that didn't
related
come
to
up
that, I
under
would have
fire,
given
I'd
it
be-
to you.
yeah.
Oh.
Bill, you seem like you were going to
Well, you're in a tower,
say something.
but more specifically, who else is in the tower?
Oh, I searched for witch.
All right. If you search for witch, you don't find one in the title, but you do find one come up very quickly in one of the poem's verses. It is called The Fate of the Princess.
All right.
This could be sad.
Yeah, I think it'll be cheerful.
To your dismay, only the first couple of stanzas are actually there. The next few pages have all been torn out by someone. As for what is still there, you read.
My turn to read?
Go ahead.
Locked in a tower, witch lurking below. The princess stares outward, heart weighted with woe.
All right.
These are good poems.
Yes.
Concealed from her lover by dark powers great, the princess does little but look, mourn, and wait. She cares for her locks, one long stroke by one. Then reaching the 100th, her prince's note comes.
First off, she's taken. That's disappointing after we climbed into a tower.
Yeah.
But she's already got a lover. That's, sucks. The 100 strokes of the brush might mean something. Mm-hmm. That after she strokes her hair, brushes her hair 100 times, prince's note comes. What else do we got here? Locks and tower, which lurking below, we knew that.
Yep,
princess.
you've dealt with the other notes you have.
Yeah.
Her prince's note. Maybe there's a note somewhere from her prince.
Yes.
If we shake the songbook, does anything slip out?
It does not.
Okay. So she's a lazy princess.
Yeah. That's just a statement on her character more than anything else, which is useful. She cares for her locks, one long stroke by. I just stroke my hair 100 times with the brush.
Makes your hand very tired.
Yeah.
But once you reach the 100th brush stroke, you hear a crack, and the brush breaks from all of the work.
Everything here is magic.
Inside, you find something.
All right.
It's a very small device, and you recognize it as a hex key, otherwise known as an Allen key.
Nice. I take apart the chair.
Nice.
On the underside, the wood of this chair comes loose and drops away, and that's not the only thing that goes down. One, there's a big old gardening glove, and there is also a balled up piece of paper. It appears to be a page ripped from that songbook, perhaps from the very same poem about the princess.
Perhaps.
But annoyingly, a few words have been worn away.
All right. First off, just before I read this, a gardening glove seems pretty mouse-proof to me. So anyway,
It's super thick. It would probably make your hand too fat to fit in.
I was thinking it could be fireproof.
oh, that's true. I want to kill that rabbit.
Or we can get the thorns off the wall with it.
Not bad, not bad. All right. Alight and alive, the girl's hopes abloom. She turns her attention to those in her room. With a loving blank, her blank in her hand, I love Mad Libs, she takes down 4 sharps from high where they stand. In small blank shape, down before the nest, she feeds all the friends that others name pest. AKA mice.
Mice.
Yep. Oh, alight and alive. Is there a blank at the end of that? Or is
No.
that just, okay.
What do you think she turns her attention to those in her room?
Could either be the kids or the mice.
Okay.
Or the birds. The
Okay.
birds. People call birds pests. Am I right? No, I'm sticking with the mice.
Bloody bird.
These were cute little birds. They weren't pests.
Okay. With a loving glove, her glove in her hand.
Should we see if we can go take a
Yeah,
thorn
I think
using the glove?
Well, more than one thorn. I say we take down 4.
Yeah, from above the window.
Yes.
The glove protects you completely. You could pluck the thorns all night if you had time, so you take
What do you
the
reckon?
4 that you want.
That's good. And 10 hours to both of our times.
Okay, so we have 4 thorns.
Yes.
Now, I think what I want to do next is dip one in the dust, strike it to the matchbox, and light the torch.
Yeah.
The only concern I have is, will there be some limit to the amount of times we can light this torch? Does a clock start timing as soon as it's lit?
It would be... I'm not sure, but I will say it would be very cruel of our game master to impose such a time limit.
Okay.
But, well, let's think, what would we do with the torch if we hold it up above the bed?
I think so.
Alright, well, then...
I think we hold it above the bed before we apply it to the bed.
Yeah, but we definitely do both. even if the first thing
first one
opens up.
solves
Yeah. Alright, well, yeah, I guess we do that.
Look, the thorn, it just doesn't quite work. The powder doesn't stick to it.
We need glue.
We went really far down that
Yeah,
solution.
It's a very good
There
idea.
are a lot of ways that
Yeah.
You're doing really well.
Okay,
got the
so the
4
thorns are not for the fire.
Yeah.
So, down before the nest. So she takes the 4 sharps
From high where they stand.
from high where they stand in small.
Something shape. Down before the nest, she feeds all the friends that others name pest.
Can we see a nest anywhere? If we look around the room or out the window?
I mean, not really. In theory, the mouse hole probably has a mouse's nest.
So in small something shape. So I think if we arrange the thorns or something in a shape in front of the mouse hole, maybe that'll bring some mice out and we can kill them.
So where I read, she feeds all the friends that others name pest, I think the mouse is our friend. And I think you should stop being so mean to it.
Well, the mouse will
Right.
definitely have to justify its, role in this escape. Because I'll be watching it like a hawk. With a loving something, her something in her hand.
So in small, maybe we have to make a shape with the 4 thorns?
Yeah, that's what I mean. So,
Shapes.
shapes. What is a shape? A circle is a shape. Can't make a circle with 4 sticks.
Have you encountered shapes anywhere in the room thus far?
Where have we seen any shapes?
Just trying to think. Well, let's go
There's a
around the room.
semicircle. The mouse is a semicircle, the mouse hole.
Let's try that. We arrange it in a semicircle in front of the mouse hole.
It's pretty rough and doesn't seem to help.
So we've got the sconce, the bed. Oh, hold on. We had the playing card border.
Oh, we
Of
did.
the heart, diamond shape.
Why don't I... There you go.
I
You
make
have the rug here if you want to have
Yeah,
another look
so
at
the
it.
3 things were heart, spade, and diamond.
And the thing
killed it.
missing is a club.
Yeah. Maybe we try that then. So first off, just in case, I do a diamond shape, because that's very easy to make with 4 sticks, in front of the mouse hole.
You arrange those thorns into a diamond shape and you stand back and wait. And after a minute, a little mouse nose sticks out of the mouse hole.
Oh, good one.
And the furry creature scurries out and it begins devouring those thorns. It munches on them, but it doesn't finish the whole thorn. It leaves a very fine stick left of each one, about as long as your finger and very thin, left with all sorts of inner thorn juicy stickiness all over it.
All right, we've got our matches.
And after a few minutes, it crawls back into its hole.
I stomp on it just before it makes it back in.
You do not.
I stopped him.
Oh, damn.
Phew, I stopped him just in time. Luckily, I'm quicker than Patrick.
Damn.
Okay, so we now want to try our fire plan with these sticky,
Yeah.
thin sticks.
Sticky
so
sticks.
we dip one in the red
And the
fire
phosphorus.
dust.
Yeah.
We strike it against the matchbox.
Success! You have a working match.
Fire. So we go, I wear the safety glove,
All right,
and I grab the torch
that's a
from the
plus.
sconce,
sure.
and we apply the match to the end of the torch, which you would typically light.
Yes.
The torch lights easily.
All right.
Nice.
Wave that above the bed.
At first, nothing happens, and you feel a little foolish. But then you notice that one of those stones in the ceiling looks almost like it's burning, but stone doesn't burn. You keep watching it happen, and eventually you realize that isn't a stone. It's just a piece of very deceptive stone-colored board, and it burns away. It leaves a hole in the ceiling from which drops a large brassy key.
It hits Nick in the face as it falls.
I mean, naturally.
It's canon now.
That was going to happen whether or not you said it.
Well, hopefully that's our trapdoor key.
I don't even know what lock's on the trapdoor. Could we have a look at the lock on the trapdoor?
We never looked at that. I think.
Let's hope it's locked.
Yeah. I feel very silly.
We will tell nobody
It is held shut with a heavy, brassy-looking lock.
that would be unlocked with a key.
With a heavy brassy looking key, yeah.
I would say so. That seems to unlock it.
Now, do we want to unlock?
So the things that we've still got, we still got that unfinished cloak.
Yes, I think that's important.
We got those birds.
Yeah.
And like a bunch of kids referenced both behind couches, in fireplaces, on songbooks. So that stuff seems interesting. But let's see what's in the trapdoor.
My only concern is that
Yes.
the witch is in the trapdoor.
Yeah.
And we potentially need the cloak to escape her view.
Invisibility cloak. Don't mind that. Okay. Well then before we leave, let's try and figure out those kids' names. Those birds' names, which I still think are kids.
Call the birds and they will finish what you cannot. So I assume we cannot finish the cloak.
Are our characters canonically good at knitting?
No, sadly. It's not amongst farmers' skills. And besides, you don't really have the tools for it yet.
I mean,
What
don't be
type
unfair
of-
to farmers, but
Yeah. What type of birds were they? Just like, what do they look like? Like
Little songbirds.
little songbirds. I go out and I whistle in a beautifully, hauntingly melodic way out the...
You're just not convincing.
I go the other way and I yell, birds! Birds!
They don't seem interested in that.
Alright, so...
There is still something that you tried to explore to its fullness, but did not succeed. What's something you failed at?
Well, I think now that we've made friends with the mouse won't bite me. I stick my hand in the mouse hole.
All right, I'll give it to you. It's tempted, but it's scurries out of the way a little bit. You feel it move aside.
Give you a cute little mouse lick on the finger.
It's not as hungry,
There you go. It's a little kiss.
Yeah,
little
you
mouse
fed
kiss.
it.
That's
It's
way
fine.
worse.
Fed it.
Little mouse kiss.
And you feel a piece of paper back there.
Great. I take it out. Whose turn is it to?
I think it's mine.
Believe
You
it
had
is.
to read the one with the gaps.
That's true.
The prince and the princess exchange stealthy pen, unseen by the witch queen, devourer of men. Concealing their missives with Ursinus wile, the princess plots freedom from homestead most vile.
Okay, not only are the birds kids, they're the princess and the prince.
Are they called prince and princess?
I shout out Rapunzel and Prince.
Charming.
Yeah, Prince Charming.
You get nothing.
What if we call that prince and princess?
Sorry.
Now, on the topic of learning new words, Ursinus. You know what that means?
No.
It's probably
Do you have any
bear-like.
guess?
But if we pause
Ursa.
now, potentially we can pretend later that we knew.
You said bear-like. Bear-like.
Bear-like.
Like Ursa.
What?
You know, like the wily, like a bear. Ursa, like Ursa Minor, like it means like bear in Latin or
Like
something.
canine means dog, ursine
Yeah.
does indeed mean bear.
So they're wily like bears. I'm searching bears in the old songbook.
We've done that. We already searched for bears.
Did we?
Yeah, stuff
Oh,
that was
teddy bear.
around the room.
Oh, there's a teddy bear, remember?
Oh, I shout out Ted
And you.
and you and Corn. Alright.
Ursinus wile.
Okay, sorry.
So, do we need to
Yeah.
tear open the soft toys?
Well, if you go to that soft teddy bear, you find that you don't actually need to rip it because the closer you look, you do notice there is a really small section of loose thread at the back that you could sort of stick a finger
This
in.
is the controlled. Well, actually, we already talked about the chair. I rip it apart.
Your fingers slip through the loose stitching, and hidden in the stuffing, you feel a folded up piece of paper. It was super tiny, so just like scrunching the bear up wouldn't have given it any sound. So, we've got a long page this time.
Can I read this? I'm bored, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to come in and say something here.
No.
Yeah.
All right, there you go, Pat.
I've got a turn system.
But the witch too is canny. She finds both their spots, and in them their love notes, so she too does plot. Preparing a meal that's to be the girl's last, the witch plucks a potion and poisons her glass.
Tricky.
The prince climbs the tower, the two embrace close. Then ere they escape here, another noise, they pause for a toast. The drink hits their lips, and they fall murdered, gone, and the mice come surround them to look, wait, and mourn. Alright, what do we know here? So that they drank some poison and they died, and the mice came to mourn them.
So we've found the notes around the place. So I don't think this spot is anywhere else we need to find. But it might be.
Alright. So, maybe then, when we look at all these love notes again, there's like a hidden message, which is, no, never mind. I just get these feelings that the train I'm on leads to nowhere. Alright.
So can we look around and scour the room for any more mouse holes?
No more mouse holes. So yeah?
One thing that I feel like we should have done, or we kind of did, if I move the rug, is there anything under the rug?
There isn't. Good pick, though.
I check
so-
under the bed.
Yeah, where was their first hiding place?
The first
for
hiding
notes.
place of the... Oh, God.
Where they say that they first hid.
There's one here at a pen.
All right.
The prince and the princess.
Oh, the first one was the
exchange
teddy.
Stealthy pen.
So the first one was the teddy bear.
Yep.
And so you need another. Where might that be?
I check the unicorn.
You check the
For another
unicorn.
hidden...
You feel around for a while. The stitching on this one is a bit better, but now that you know what you're looking for,
Yep.
you stick your fingers in anyway, and you get pricked on the finger because someone stuck a couple of sewing needles inside that.
Oh, well, we have the tools, so I begrudgingly...
Your hands
Yeah.
are just suffering.
I moments before I bleed to death, I hand you the sewing needles and say, tell my story.
The man died knitting.
Yeah.
He got bitten by a mouse. He stabbed his fingers and he just died. He gave up.
Yeah.
Jumped out the window.
Hemophiliac, you know, what are you going to do? Can I just attempt to knit the scarf together?
Or you don't have the first idea what you're doing. You know how you need to get the thread through the eye of the needle? You can't even do that.
I suppose my hands are pretty slick with
Right.
blood at this point.
So is this when we need the birds?
Yeah, so call the birds and they will finish what you cannot.
You came quite close
Yeah.
to calling the birds with one of your ideas earlier.
Birds do.
Do we whistle?
Oh, yeah, a particular song.
That's pretty good. The problem was you tried bird whistling before, but you just weren't very convincing. You didn't sound like a bird.
Wonder what we could do to sound more like a bird.
What does sound like a bird?
I take off all my
Our cuckoo
clothes.
clock sounds like a bird.
Oh.
And our cuckoo clock hasn't stopped cuckooing since we unlocked it.
Oh, it's a good thing we didn't break it.
That's the very good thing we didn't break it.
I pick up the cuckoo clock and sit it on the window.
It goes cuckoo, 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 cuckoo.
We remove the...
You do so, and eventually, looking out of the window, you see two little black spots. And eventually they come closer, and these two little songbirds come flying through the window, and they sit on their bird perch. And they start doing little cute head tilts.
Aw, gently.
What are they tilting towards?
Oh, just, in that sort of animal confusion. They don't really know what they're doing.
Yep, okay.
You called them in here.
Yep.
I hand them each a sewing needle.
All right. They look a little excited. They pick them up in their little bird beaks.
Oh, that's cute.
And we pull out the half-finished cloak and the strings.
Yeah.
They get to work. You've never seen anything like it. They're little birdie machines. They suddenly seem to know exactly what they're doing, and pretty soon all the silk strands have been sewn into the cloak, which is big enough to completely cover both of you, and it shimmers as if with magic.
It really was an invisibility cloak.
I did think we were going to have to fight for the cloak, so
Yeah.
this is nice. Yeah. Okay, so we put the cloak on
Yeah.
and look at ourselves in the mirror to make sure.
It seems very effective.
We can't see any
You
reflection.
cannot see your beautiful
Okay.
faces.
But now, do we want to leave straight away and leave old Birdie Prince and Birdie Princess?
Oh, the
birds.
little
They can
birds
fly
tweet.
away.
They give you the bird equivalent of a thumbs up and high five, and they fly
Flip you
away.
the bird.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
All right. Well, do we go?
I'm feeling ready to leave. I
Okay.
think there's nothing left over. Looking around the room,
I suppose the prince and the princess are already dead, so what are we?
they're
gonna
well
do about
gone,
it?
poisoned.
shame.
Yeah. We just climbed. Yeah, we just climbed to the house of dead people. I was dumb. Yeah, I guess we ensorcel ourselves and.
You swing open the trapdoor. Yeah. Immediately there's a horrible smell and just a sense of foreboding comes over you. You see a spiral staircase and you tiptoe down. You come across a doorway to a kitchen, and in there, you see the foulest creature you've ever seen. Calling it a witch is not enough, and it's insulting to anyone that you've ever called a witch in your life.
That means it's the princess. Alright. I yell, Rapunzel!
Don't yell!
No, you don't.
Do not yell.
We do not yell.
You're gonna get eaten.
Alright.
The witch starts to turn around, but it doesn't seem to see you. You slip past. You make it to the main entrance, and you kick the door open and burst out into the fresh air. As you do, a gust of wind comes from in front of you, and the breeze carries something small.
Now
It's
I
a
think
scrunched up piece of paper.
we have read an equal amount of notes.
Yeah.
So there's one note left, and only one person who's not read one.
Good. I've been working on my reading voice all day.
Oh,
dear
man.
me. Yeah.
Remembering your kindness. Oh, sorry.
So, as you hurriedly walk back away from this terrible tower of death, you read.
Remembering her kindness, the princess's heart, the mice too hold magic, and too play a part. Enchanting the lovers, returning their souls in bodies long living, but different, but whole. And though they are altered from humanity, the loves, turned to lovebirds, are finally free.
I called it the ending twist that the birds were people all along. I win the prize. Give me the grand prize.
Congratulations, you've escaped.
Well
you made
done.
it out.
That's wonderful.
You did really well at some of those
do it.
puzzles. It was impressive.
I hope you had a good time on your first game.
That was great fun. I love the poems. They're so well written as well.
Yeah,
They were a joy to read.
That was really great. You did very, very well. You should feel very
And
proud.
your time was?
Yes, and your time was?
Nicholas's time was 60 minutes 22 seconds. Patrick's time was 64 minutes 22 seconds.
That all went very well. We'll finish off here. Dani, if you want to give us a hint of what will happen in the next room.
Well, the next room takes place in a spot where I believe characters from both Community and How I Met Your Mother have found love.
You made it through the bad times, you made it through the good. You always knew you could.